Hi, everyone. Good evening, good morning, or good night, wherever you are coming from. This is Coach OG here. I want to first of all say thank you so much for joining me today on this channel. Thank you so much for being here. It's been an awesome time. And also
Hi,
in
everyone. Good evening,
celebration,
good morning, or good night, wherever you
sorry
are
about that.
coming from. This is Coach OG here. I want to first of all say thank you so much.
Sorry about that. So we had a feedback. So now, in preparation for the Black History Month, is a month that is celebrated around the world. So I'll be telling you a little bit about the Black History Month. Is going to the 31st of October. Now, what's Black History Month and why is it celebrated? Now, Black History Month began as a way of remembering important people and events in the history of the African diaspora. So it's celebrated in February in the United States and Canada, while in Ireland and the United Kingdom, it is observed in October. Now, it began, just like I said, it began as a way of remembering important people and events in the history of the Black diaspora, and it's made a lot of impact. Now, this month is the Black History Month, and I'll say the Black History Month was created in 1926 in the United States when historian G. Watson or Carter G. Watson and the Association for the Study of Negro Life and History announced the second week of February to be Negro History Month. This week was chosen because it coincided with the birthday of Abraham Lincoln on February 12th, and other communities are celebrated together since the late 19th century. Now, in this month, as a show of celebration and involvement in what is happening, I, as a channel, have decided that, you know what, I'm going to be bringing in Africans in diaspora who have made it, who have been able to get themselves involved in one venture or the other. So we're going to be seeing people who have schools on helping Africans. Now, in the United Kingdom, Black History Month was first celebrated in October 1987. Now, which year was also coincidentally the 150th anniversary of Caribbean emancipation. So it's the centenary of the birth of Marcus Garvey and the 25th anniversary of the Organization of African Unity, which is OAU. Now, an institution which is dedicated to advancing the progress of African states. Now, Black History Month in the UK was organized through the leadership of Ghanaian analysts Akwaba Adasebo, who had served as a coordinator of special projects for the Greater London Council, GLC, and he created a collaboration to get it underway. Now, it was first celebrated in London, like I said before, in 1987 as part of African Jubilee Year, when on October 1st, Dr. Mulani Kariba from the US was invited to an event at County Hall to mark the contributions of Black people through history. Another Sebo drew up a plan to recognize the contribution of Africans, Asians, Caribbean people. Now, with other boroughs beginning formally to institute October as Black History Month in the UK. And now you'll be surprised that we are celebrating it now. We are bringing in people. People are going to be with us, today, I want to quickly recognize people that we have here. We've got Pa Obi. We've got Beliza Chubi from the Philippines. It's quite late in the Philippines now. Thank you so much for being here. Now we've got Effie Empire here. Now, Effie is always on Instagram, Facebook. She's been able to create a community where she's working with Black women where they can come out and give out the best in them. So she's helping us set up women who are setting up like startup. So she's into like startup businesses, encouraging people to start up the businesses that they want to start. And today I've got a special person that I'm bringing here. He's a serial entrepreneur. I'll say that. And you know what? He's got so many things in his bed, so many things he wants to tell us. And we've got people watching us on Facebook. We've got people watching us on YouTube, and we are going to make sure that this recording is available to as much people as we can. Now, guys or ladies, I don't want you to miss this. Get a pen, get a paper. I'm bringing in somebody who has been a mentor to me. In fact, when I bring him in, you're just going to be amazed. He's helped me in more ways than one. More ways than one. This man placed me where I am today with his network. His network is amazing. You see, I always tell people something. Show me your network, and I'll know your net worth. That's it. So I want to welcome Mr. Anthony today. Mr. Anthony, thank you so much for being here, and I hope everyone can hear us. Thank you very
Good
much
to
for
see
your
you.
time. I know you're busy. You're a very busy man, but thank you so much for being here. There. So if you have any question, you can ask me. But for now, we're just going to focus on seeing and hearing so much from you. We're ready. Mr. Anthony, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you, Mr. Uchi.
You're
Thank you for having
welcome.
me.
You're
It's a
welcome.
pleasure.
You're
I'm
welcome.
so
You're
excited.
welcome. Thank you so much. Like I said, this month I'm just going to be bringing in lots of people to talk to us, on how we can get better at what we do. Mr. Anthony, you want to introduce yourself and tell us what you do and who you are?
Okay, thank you very much for the opportunity and honor once again. I
Thank you so
think
much.
the easiest way to say it is that I've been doing business for some time. We started quite some time, and we've been through the ups and downs and whatnot, and have had the opportunity to sort of build some good ones, particularly online. So at the moment, we've got several online stores, be it Shopify, be it Etsy, Amazon's, and the likes, and really have sort of taken things from where it was as as a beginner to a place where we're quite comfortable to see the growth. I think the emphasis now is really to sort of bring that same knowledge and information to people, right? Because it's one thing to want to do business, it's another thing to know that it is a science, it's a knowledge, it is something that you acquire through the experience, and you can save yourself quite a lot of headaches if you
Yeah.
actually have the right mentor, the right people around you. And I like that you said that I have contributed to something where you are, but I also want to make you know that you've contributed significantly to where I am today. And I think as we move along, we keep every now and then we keep meeting and we keep doing things together. But
Oh, wow.
it's a pleasure to be here, and it's a pleasure to know that we are also contributing into other people's life through this
Thank you
channel.
so much. Thank you very much. I want to, when I remember in 2015, I was in the library at Middlesex University finishing my master's, and I made a phone call to you. I said, you know what, Mr. Anthony, I'm starting off now, and I want to go into properties. I want to go into construction. Where do I start from? And you gave
Mm,
me the first lead, and
yeah,
that first lead gave me over £65,000
yeah,
just on that first lead,
yeah.
and it was a project of about 1.6 million pounds. Tell us,
Wow.
Mr. Anthony, tell us about networking.
Yes. I think that's I didn't know it was 65 go. I should have come to you and say, please connect me as well. But
It was.
I think social what do you want to what should I call it here, social bank or social um
Hmm.
capital, as it were, is very, very important. I think,
Wow.
one of the things that, as the years went by, I became very much aware was that your knowledge is important, but there are one or two places that you will only get to with the right connections.
That's it.
So I sort of invested a lot of time in trying to build the right relationship, alongside building the knowledge that was necessary. So especially in business, you can't do pretty much everything, and where you're trying to go, between where you are now and where you're trying to go, is just simply one person that you need to meet, because they have access
Hmm.
to certain individuals, or they have
Yeah.
a type of information that you need, really.
Hmm.
So it's always having the right relationships, has been the core of building business and building career or whatever it is. It's always been having the right people at the right time, and being able to be
Hmm.
sociable, and also bringing value to their table. A lot of the I know that the gentleman in question here, he also connected me to other people,
Hmm.
and other people have connected me. So it's a cycle, you know.
Yeah.
But it's one thing that I think you sort of even taught myself, you know, coming from the background that we are coming from.
Yeah.
We know that God uses people to help
Yeah.
us.
Yeah.
So I think that's been the case for us, and it's very important. Social bank, social credit, social
Mm.
capital is very,
Wow,
very important to move forward. Yeah.
man. You know, that's a new word I just learned now. Social bank, social credit. Wow, social capital. My goodness, this is amazing. Let's go back again to you mentioned so many things I'm going to talk about, but let me just first of all look at it. Why is it that we are not getting more ethnic minority, blacks especially, having their own businesses?
Okay, that's a very good question. I think
Yeah.
part of doing business also is a lot of internal conviction. And I think when a person lacks a sense of identity, a sense of purpose, a sense of who am I, a lot of the times the fear of failure and the um, the the fear that things might not work, or there's always that thing that doesn't exist but you sort of create
Hmm.
because there is a lack of conviction.
My goodness.
And I think that's one of the things that have sort of held back ethnic minority for a long time, that internal knowing of who you are and recognizing that it's okay to take that journey, and even if you make mistakes, it's part of the learning curve. And those I would say that where you are now and where we are today is not, it's not a if you want to say, it's not automatic. It's a process. It's a result of continuously, making mistakes. You get up and you move on, continuously sort of telling yourself you're never going to give up in that sense. So that's the first thing, fear. And I think the other thing is also the wrong focus. And I was having this
Hmm.
conversation with my missus. If your idea of starting business is because you want to prove something, a lot of times you lose sight of the emphasis of what you're trying to build, and you might be making decisions as an attempt to prove that this or prove that that. So, why are you doing what you're doing? What's the motivation?
Hmm.
If it's to build business, to help others, to bring something valuable to the marketplace, then you're going to immerse yourself into it and find out what you need to do and how you need to do it correctly. But if it's always have one element of someone else or whatever it is, you'll be distracted along the way. And I think the
Hmm.
final one will be a level of knowledge. Business is
Hmm.
hard. Business is very
Yeah.
hard. Very, very hard. I mean, I had a conversation with yourself about not so long ago. We talked about the getting charted here, getting charted that.
Yeah.
And one thing you made mention was it is
Mm.
hard. It is you have to invest a lot of work and time into it. How many of
Yeah.
these um have time to devote solely into that thing that they want to get. A lot of times they are built, you know, ethnic minorities find themselves trying to struggle for survival and trying to sort of, have one thing or the other to sort of just have the bare minimum. So that's sort of sacrificing that area to be able to focus on purely building the necessary structures and whatever for your business becomes almost like a struggle. But
Hmm.
all of this can easily be overcome by just persistence and a commitment and a bulldog tenacity to say, you know what, I am going to make it happen no matter what. It is possible.
Yeah.
It's possible. 100%.
My goodness, man. You've said so many things. One of the first things you said is that's internal conviction needs to come in. Fear of failure, fear
Yes.
of the unknown. It's like you've created this failure and then it becomes an impending a factor. It's like the failure becomes intimidating.
Yes.
It's like it's intimidating you from taking the step. And then the next thing he said, wrong focus, losing sight of what you're doing. If you're
Mm.
there to create value in the marketplace, you will succeed. Oh, Pastor Nelson Gonka is here. Pastor Nelson, so glad to have you here. Thank you so much for being here. And then he said the level of knowledge. You see, when I walk on high street sometimes, I see the guy from Afghanistan selling the African food to the African.
Mm.
It's so funny. I had a project I was handling in Peckham. I went to Peckham. I walked past. I saw this guy selling jollof rice fried yam,
Really?
which is what we eat. And I asked him, where are you from? He said, from Afghanistan. But from Afghanistan, he's selling to the African coming to buy. You know, fear of the unknown.
Yes.
No, let's look at that first of all. Fear of failure. How do you overcome fear of failure?
Yeah. Thank you for that question. I think the you know, like you're right. I think you just said it. Fear of the unknown. There is something that you don't know that is
Wow.
making you make assumptions. That's
Hmm.
all it is. You're really it's an assumption based on ignorance of something. And later in the day, I think a few days ago, I was listening to a commentary about something. And the guy was explaining the difference between knowledge and knowing. And he said knowledge is really all about facts that you can sort of gather because of your eyes and your five senses. But knowing has to do with an inner conviction. Knowing has to do
Hmm.
with an inner state of being. It's a state where, come what may, you just know that you are a male. You have hands. Nobody can argue against it. So it's built with information, but it's also built with experience. It's built with the right mentors. It's built within the right context. And one of the things that a mentor like yourself, a coach like yourself does, and I've sort of seen how your students over the years have sort of moved, is that there is that relational impact that they get besides just what they're learning from you. They're seeing
Yeah.
somebody do it. They're seeing a black person be successful in business. They're seeing
Yeah.
a black person do this. That builds in them a knowing that it is possible.
Yeah.
And then if they are
Wow.
getting that information and they are also getting to be around the right people, it's almost like you build systems and structures around you that only builds confidence. You just
Hmm.
cannot but win. Yeah.
Wow. I love that. You build systems
Yes.
around you that builds confidence. So, in other
Yes.
words, the people you surround yourself with matters a lot.
100%. 100%.
It matters a lot.
Yes.
When people come in for my training and I train them, I tell them, I said, in 3 years' time, I'm expecting you to be a consultant. In other words,
Mm,
for you to have your own business.
mm,
I'm not training you for you to get into a job and stay there for 65 years. No, I'm training you so that you can have your own consultancy for them. If you have that, then you can pass that to the next generation.
exactly.
Whether you're going to pass the business or the knowledge to the next generation, but it's going to help.
Mm,
It's going to help quite well. I
yeah.
love that. I love that. I love that. Now let's talk about mentoring. As a black person, or as a black entrepreneur, or as an ethnic entrepreneur, how does mentoring come in, and what part does mentoring play when it comes to you know
Yeah.
when it
You
comes to
know what?
business?
Look,
Yeah.
I think mentoring is like blood to the ethnic minority. It's what will
Hmm.
keep the human body going. It's it's
Wow.
it's it's air. It's because you are dealing with, firstly, a mental, almost like you have to do something to the average ethnic minority's mind of,
Hmm.
again, we talked about the lack of confidence.
Yeah.
Mentorship will help you build that internal structure. That's the
Hmm.
first thing. There is a
Wow.
mindset that can only be imparted by being around. you know I was I we finished a session. There's a lady that we just finished a mentorship program and literally had a website launched and whatnot. And I asked her at the end of the session, and I said, would you have ever thought about this business? She said no.
Hmm.
I said, what you are having today is because of somebody's several years of understanding that
That's
is
it.
being impacted to you in one drop like that. That is
Hmm.
somebody's years of mistakes, somebody's years of
Yes.
error, costly
Hmm.
mistakes that they've
Oh my
just said,
God.
you don't make those mistakes, and they've guided you into that process. That you can, no matter, unless you're ready to pay the same price, which is very, very,
Right.
very expensive. So when they see a coach, instead of us seeing the benefits to them, it's so important. Mentorship is I don't know how to say it. Hey,
Hmm.
I wish I had one. Anyway, that's why I knew you a long time ago. That is why we managed to move. We managed to move now.
You know, I tell people something. When they come in and
Mm,
I'm coaching them, training them. I tell them, you know what? I've got years of experience in my industry, but what you don't have is you might not have those years of experience, but this is what I'm going to do for you. I'm giving you all that I know. So it's like if I've been in the industry for over 10 years, you are in the industry for over 10
For
years
10
too.
years.
That's
Exactly.
it. But you see, the part that I love so much is that internal conviction that, you know
Yes.
what, I'm giving you all this.
Yes. It's
That,
critical because there's some things that no matter how you are taught, you will not. I had a manager,
yeah.
and he came in. This is some years back, and he came in, and I noticed that I wasn't learning anything that he was saying, but I was learning by his behavior.
Hmm. Wow. 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 It's as if it's broken. It's wow. The internet here. We need the internet. But Anthony has just gone up, but he's gonna be back soon. He's gonna be back soon. Now, I hope you can hear me. If you've not subscribed to my YouTube channel, please do. Just hit the notification button and we'll be right back. How'd you know? Mr. Anthony has. Yeah, Mr. Anthony, sorry, you went off for a
Yeah,
while. The line went off. Yeah, we can
no,
hear you now. Sorry about that. Yeah, you were talking about the manager that you were not learning anything from.
yeah. I wasn't learning what he was saying. I was learning a lot from his behavior. And I remember some years ago, I'm not sure if you recall, but
Yeah.
it was during one of these events in church. I remember you made a comment that some things are taught, but some things are also caught. So in
Mm-hmm.
my mind, I I just kept thinking, I'm catching something from this guy that I would have never known if I didn't have that physical experience with him of seeing him
Hmm.
behave that way,
That's it.
and that's where I see the place of mentorship, because there is an impartation that, I'm sorry to use the,
No, no, no,
I'll
no.
use
It's,
religion,
it's
but
okay.
there's something that is imprinted in you just by observing someone
Hmm.
that you can only get from mentorship. No matter the years of teaching, somebody has to come and open your eyes to see it. If not, they will just be talking about your head, because there are some, yeah, yeah,
I can understand. I can understand because you see, the knowledge of something is one aspect.
yes.
The experience is another aspect.
Mm,
So you can have, then the skill is another aspect. So
yes,
having all these come together comes through not just studying but through observation
yes.
and getting the person involved in what they need to do.
Mm,
That's what
mm,
you see. Now let's go back again to businesses.
mm,
What kind of business, or what businesses can you just say, okay, well, guys, you know what, you can start from today? Because I
mhm.
always look at 3 years from now. That's always my focus. 3 years from now, we can start from today, and then maybe in about 3 years from now, what kind of business do you think this person will be able, or
To
anybody
do.
listening, will be able to do?
Okay, that's a very good question. Some years ago, I decided that I wanted a level playing field. I
Hmm.
wanted a business that allowed me to succeed regardless of color, gender, race, ethnicity, all that stuff. And I realized that the online domain presented that. Nobody knows who's behind it.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody knows who has, um, you know, it's just, do you understand the market, and are you giving the market what they want?
Hmm.
And I think that's where the e-commerce domain, the digital domain, really became fascinating to me, and I immersed
Yeah.
myself into it. When I was in the service industry, started a business in the service industry, and you'll always sort of be fighting with yourself in your head. They didn't accept it because I was black, or they accepted me
Yeah.
because I wasn't. You're always going to have that thing going on. But if you are in the online market, where the person is sitting in the comfort of their home, and
Mm-hmm.
you have built systems and structures that deliver a product or a service, whether it's SaaS or whether it's something that has an element of digital,
Yeah.
you are really going to be breaking a barrier that people struggle with for a long time. So my advice a lot of the time is the online domain, particularly the e-commerce. And when you come to e-commerce, there are different business models. You
Hmm.
have your drop shipping, you have your your eBays, your direct to consumer, B2B. You
Yeah.
have your there's all kinds of ways where you can go about it. But again, you
Hmm.
need somebody to guide you systematically, because I think one of the things people need to realize that the online market is a tool. Internet
Hmm.
is a tool.
Yeah.
The fundamentals of business, when you come to having a clearly defined business proposition, checking to ensure that there is a demand for your product, understanding your customers, knowing the right business model, because there's a business model that you can choose that ultimately will make you not succeed. And if
Yeah.
with the same product, if you go into a different business model, all of a sudden you're succeeding, right?
Yeah.
And making sure that you've got your financials. But all these things have to be practically demonstrated to someone for them to see, oh, this is what you mean by this, this is what you mean by that. When you have that understanding, then the online market becomes a level playing field for everyone. But if I have to advise anybody,
Hmm.
sort of, I can be very succinct with your question. I think people need to start looking at the online domain and the potential it carries, because you look at the likes of COVID and all that stuff, the consumer confidence and the consumer um, warmness towards staying at home and ordering, it's just only going to grow. It's only
That's it.
going to grow. So digital businesses, and there are so many marketplaces. There's so many marketplaces. You can start from there and sort of learn your way through it. We've been doing it for a long time. So we can afford to have different sites and different things. And the beautiful thing is that you can also have like, virtual assistants that actually can help you, and you don't even have to be physically present in some of these businesses. You can easily have people that just take your orders and fulfill them. You can have third parties that actually fulfill them. You can do so many things. You can be buying someone's products from, for example, I'll give you a typical example. You could be buying products from Costco and selling them directly on eBay, and you don't have
Hmm.
any physical contact. You could be buying products from Amazon and then come and sell it from eBay. You can buy, there's
Yeah.
so many things you could do, but
Sure.
people just need to be brought into that information, really.
Wow. You said so much, so much. The online business does not have any color. It does not
Yes,
have any body at all. There's no one that's going to say you are not too good, you're black, you're brown, you're
that
yellow. It doesn't matter. You're just there.
the
People just want
business
to
is
know that you're there. And then
yes,
you said something, you said your ability to understand the systems and the structures in place
yes,
will help you to,
yes,
jump the hurdle. You know,
yes, yes,
there's drop shipping, there's B2B, there's eBay, there's Amazon,
yes,
Etsy, so many things going on
yes,
there.
yes, yes,
Now,
yes,
but you see, one of the things that one of the reasons that I brought you here was that you've spoken to us about so many things. You've spoken to us about how we can start off, what can we can things that looks intimidating, what we can push out, know how to cross the hurdle, where to start off, what our focus should be. Now, where can you come in
okay,
because I know you that you're a serial entrepreneur. I said that at the beginning. You at the very beginning, you were the one that helped me with one of my businesses, and which I still do, and I'm so happy about it. You told me I had to sit with you. You taught me everything. I bought up my equipment and started off, and I've made a sizable sum of money from it, and I'm still making.
yeah.
Now I can pass that information to anyone who's interested, either in my family or someone. So where do you come in?
Where do I come in? Thank you for that question. I think we have sort of two programs. We have both the training program, which we can do on a 12-week session, or you can just be doing individual sessions, and
Mhm.
you sort of know. So you have like the curriculum, and you determine what it is that you want to do. You feel like you need information in. I will be very frank with you and say one, two, three, or four curriculums, or one, two, three, or four courses, you need to do it. So there's that training aspect of things. Then there's also the mentorship aspect, where we also guide you step by step to deliver and create your own store and help you
Hmm.
in terms of the sales and marketing and stuff. So we have a team around us. You have designers, we've got website developers, Shopify experts, and these are all people that work with us on a daily basis, right? So we don't just take you through the training. Once we take you to the training, if you want to go into the session where we actually help you to build it, that's also there. But if you come in and you say, you know what, I understand the sessions, I really whatever, I want to go into the mentorship, then there's that step by step
Yeah.
mentorship for you to create a product, a store, and then have you launch and then go straight into the market. So it just depends on who the person is and where they are. I mean, the last client that I've had clients where they just come in and say, I just want to do module 1, 2, and 3. So okay, no problem. We do the sessions. When you finish, we leave them. Then there are those that say, you know what, I actually want to go through the mentorship program where we help you not just theoretically, but we are building the stores with you. We are also building, we are showing you practically what it is. And the results are phenomenal. We've seen people really, really, really excited about where they were, where they are now, and then be able to create products and stores that are doing phenomenally well.
Wow. Now, I've got people who are watching me online. Some of them are not in the UK.
Yeah.
They are just in other parts of the world. How can you help them? Someone like Beliza Chobi now, there's a POB. Someone is watching, CK Media is watching from Spain. We've got different people watching. But so where do you come in?
Where do I come in? I think the first place is to connect with me on Instagram at Tony Bafi, TonyBaafy, at Tony Bafi.
TonyBaafy. Okay.
Fi. Yes.
Okay.
Tony Bafi. That's the first
Okay.
place. You connect with me on Instagram. You can easily sort of send me a message over there. I will be, open to have a conversation with you. Just understand. I'm very practical, but at the same time, very systematic. I really think that there's a step-by-step approach to actually building business. When you come, there's always a conversation about where you are, where you want to go, and systematically, how do we take you there? But in terms of the infrastructure to help you move forward, we have no problem. We've been doing this for some time. We've tested the waters. We've done well. We're moving. So we pretty much have something that is top class that we're very confident about. Anytime. Yeah.
This is amazing. We've said so much today. Now, I put your Instagram handle there at Tony Bafi. So if you want to get in contact with Anthony, that is his details on Instagram. So get in contact with him. Now, because he's come to this live stream for this month or for the next 2 months, for the next 2 weeks in this month of October, which I didn't tell him about, but I'm just saying this now. Those that will contact him between now, today's the 3rd, and the 15th of October, he's got a special deal for you guys. Yes. So if you contact him, not only are you going to get access to the systems, the training program, the mentorship, but he's got other things that he's going to discuss specially with you just for logging in. So if you watch this video between now and the 15th of October, if he wants to extend it, okay. But between now and the 15th of October, you are in. So take advantage of this. How do I call it now? Of this, is it? Do I call it bonanza or But take advantage of this because he's come here to help us, and he's ready to give us his time, the mentorship, the training program, 12 weeks training program. So, in other words, what you're saving is you're saving yourself that you're not going to go to the high street and say you want to get a store. No need for that. You've got that up. There's no need for you to say, okay, I'm going to the bank to get a loan. No, you've cut that off. Go into the 12 weeks program from week 1 right down to the end of the 12 weeks. You're ready. So you're in already. And then all you have to do is now the mentorship is there to keep mentoring you and going on. Now, Mr. Anthony, you've helped me so much that, sometimes I'm so grateful having you as a friend. I tell people something, I say, you know what? If I have a good friend, it's better than just having a million associates that are nothing. Just one good friend, because that's where it comes from. Now, FM Power said, thank you so much for this. Very interesting. Yeah. So please spread it among your contacts, your link between now and the 15th of October. You call Mr. Anthony, book into the 12-week course or go into the mentorship program or take one of the courses, but at least a minimum of what he will discuss with you. You get the discount that you want. Now, Mr. Anthony, one other thing I want to ask, you've been talking about the systems and the structures. A little bit about that, because we've just got like 6 more minutes. There will go. So any other person who's got a question or want to know anything, please type it there and I'll read it out.
Okay, thank you for that question. Systems and structures. I think the first thing is realizing that, again, I said that the online domain is a science, right? There's a science to it. There is a, if you want to say, a body of information. It's I first is that groundwork of really doing a little bit of research to understand your market. Then you want to really be sure. You know, we live in a world where there's a lot of data, and you
Yeah.
can really assess data to really sort of study human behavior.
Yeah.
And so whenever you're bringing a product to the marketplace, you're not doing it based on guess. You're not doing based on I feel this way or whatever. There's a level of, robust data to support whatever it is that you're concluding. So
Yeah.
there's that essence there. But then beyond that is the fact that once you go online, you have to have certain frameworks in place, whether it's your average order value that you need to improve so that you can increase your return on investment, whether it's your growing your social proof, helping people to trust you, helping people to come to a point where they don't just see you as one of the other sites online, you know. Um, and then also having a referral program where you keep having people move from one place to another, telling about your products and services. And then there's quite a lot of things that you need to do to really have an online store that allows you to say this is a viable store. I mean, for those of you that want to go on our when you go on our Instagram pages, you can go into some of our stores and you see what you're saying. It's quite clear that we've sort of understood one or two things along the way. There is a robust system in place that systematically, if you follow, you will get to a point where you are not just happy with what you have, but the people that are also coming to your store, they can confidently trust what you're doing and purchase from you.
Wow. So this is amazing. Yeah, is that Tony's IG's handle? Yes, please. At Tony Buffy, that's his IG handle. Please follow him if you're not following him. Recently, Mr. Anthony, no, you're going to be telling us of your involvement because recently I saw your photographs. You went to Ghana for some few things. But before we say that, I want to say to anyone here, if you know you've not subscribed to my YouTube channel or you're not following me on Instagram, OG then OGIE1, please do. But if you've not subscribed to my YouTube channel, let's watch this. Good. Thank you so much. So that's just to remind you to just hit the subscription button, hit the notification button, and know that I'm always here 6 p.m. every Sunday. Now there, that's Mr. Tony's. Okay, followed immediately. Somebody's already following you. FA Empire is already following you. Thank you so much for that. Now you recently went to Ghana. What was your involvement with that? I saw you with some participants and some high class people around there. You want to tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah. It was a good one. It was a good and wonderful experience. I think again is this the information and sort of mentorship aspect. We're working with the government to try and see how we can help the young people back home in Africa. So
Wow.
there's certain groups and certain affiliations and certain trust and if you want to say chambers of commerce really in Africa
Good.
that we are directly in contact with. And we are not just independent organizations. We are directly in contact with the Ministry of Trade and Industry, also the Ministry of Business. And really, it's all about giving people the right information and also enabling them to have access to capital. So that went well. We began a few of our conversations, we began a few of our programs. And the goal is really to educate and mentor the young people because I feel like, one of the things that the average African should know really is that you just need something that will give you, let's say, $200 or £200, and
That's
life
it.
is totally different. Now, because
Hmm.
of technology, again, you have access to that. I paid somebody 2 days ago. The guy is in Nigeria, and I paid him $200 just to go into one of our stores and just optimize it. They're not doing
Wow.
anything other than just going and putting tags and changing the what's it called the titles and making sure
The
that they have
titles.
SEO exactly. And that person probably for the next month is sorted, you know. And it's just taking a few days, 2 3 days, they are done. But this information has to be given to the average person so that they know how to leverage technology to their advantage. They don't have to travel over here. They can use technology for their own good. So that's where we are. We're working with the government heavily. I am probably going to be going back early next year. I have a few sort of training programs and sessions and whatnot planned out. So it's going well. We're excited about the potential to sort of impact people with as much information. It's all
Hmm.
about being relevant to our community and what we have learned, the mistakes and the costly mistakes that we've made. We prevent people from going there, really. So yeah, that
Wow.
was for going.
Thank you so much for that. Chinwe Glory is here. Thank you so much, Chinwe Glory. Said, I'm here. Glad to have you here. We have Mr. Tony Buffy here, and he said so much. Mr. Tony, one thing that you said I really, really glad about is that we are learning so much here. And how are we involving those people back home? I like that initiative that you're bringing in here. CK Media is here from Spain. Thank you so much, CK Media. How you're involving people, sending, because in Africa, most of them have this knowledge, they have the skill. It's just a little bit of impetus with money. Just say, okay, you take this, use it to start up something. I'm very happy with all you're doing. Very, very happy. Thank you so much for that. Working with the government, helping these teenagers, these youths, these young people to start off their life is a huge plus for them. Thank you so much, and I really appreciate that. We've just been having so much fun. And one of the things that Mr. Anthony taught me, thank you, Mr. Anthony, for that, was that you helped me to start off this business. I just told you that I made the phone call and you just linked me up, and that business gave me about £65,000. It was good. It was good money. I know you didn't know because you have come for your chair. It was good money. But the good thing about it was this: linking that man up, linking me up with that family, gave me that ability to do. And I'm still in contact with them today because I gave in all that I needed to do. Now, I want us to talk a little bit about the area of trust. Because if you look at it, the major issue with most ethnic minority or Black people not starting business is always that, in quotes, trust. How do we walk around that?
Yes. That's a very good point, because I think you've hit on a very very, very poignant area, because that is trust. Is I've had the time to really spend some time with permit me to use the word, really, really successful business people. And I remember in one particular instant, one of them actually gave me access to their home. They hired an office and said, sit down, do whatever, nobody's going to talk to you. And all they cared about is that you never broke their trust. That's all. They don't mind whether or not you can do whatever. Look, if you like, whatever, but as long as you open your mouth and say, I'm going to do 1, 2, 3. If 1, 2, 3 is not done, you are giving them reason to doubt you.
That's it.
And it's going to build, it takes them time to trust you. So the moment they put themselves in you, it's like they have literally accepted you in the family. Now, to answer your question, how do you build trust? I think it first comes down to you as an individual. First, you've got to be a man or woman of integrity, where your words and your actions are matching. That is the first place where you are like, okay, you know what? I am a person that I stick to my word. If I say I'm going to do this, I'm going to honor my comments. Then beyond that is your display of excellence and your display of character wherever you are. I've had the opportunity to be around people and I'm doing something totally different from what I'm not paying attention to them. But because I'm being a man of character, a man of honor, a man of excellence, they notice it and then they call me and say, oh, I need you to do X, Y, Z. So it first starts with you as a person, but it also transfers into all the way that you behave outside, wherever you are, how you treat people, how you talk, how you help people. All that stuff becomes very, very, and as you talked about, our contact here, it's the same thing. The level of trust that he gave to us, the level of trust he gave to you, he gave to me, is the same thing. To the point where he opened so much doors for us to go into so many different places. Today till today, we're enjoying of that same.
Because you see what you just said now was amazing. When you introduced him to me, he gave me his credit card and bank card.
He did exactly the same to me
and said, OG, I'm leaving you with this bank card. Anything anybody wants to buy, you be the one to manage the fund.
Yes.
And I sat and I said, what's going on?
Yes.
I was surprised. He said, no. He said, if I can trust Anthony, I can trust you. And that was how he set me up. Introduced me to one multi, very. He told the man, loaded man. He said, this is OG. He said, this is OG. He said, do any business with him. I can trust him.
That's it.
So I think as Africans, we need to begin to look at our display of excellence, our
Mm,
character,
mm,
our honor. You said it here, our character, our honor, our excellence, how we treat people.
mm.
What we can't do, we shouldn't say we can do it.
You can do it.
What you can't do, don't do it.
Mm.
You know, there was a time that same contact, after he gave me the 65 grand one, he came again and gave me another push. And gave me another project, you know. And he said, "Can you do it?" And I told him, I said, "I can't do it." He said, "But I will teach you, and then we'll get the fund and
You
we
get
can."
the praise.
You see, the amazing thing was that I was doing business with this man. He will send it into my account and I'll pay him his own. I'll do business with him. They'll pay him. I'm never in that thought of breaking trust. Never.
Breaking the trust. Yes.
It's just amazing.
Yeah. No, up
What?
to today, the people he's connected yourself, myself to, I know there are people in my life today that's because of this man.
Man, you know, you see, well, we're just drinking of the water of trust.
That's it.
I told them something in church today, and I can say it here. I said, if I go into a store like Tesco and I get a bottle of water, it's got a brand on it, Tesco water, and I'm drinking the water, I trust Tesco that water is not poisoned.
That's it.
Now, and I asked the congregation, I said, can I trust the water that I drink from you? Can I say that what you're telling me now will be able to put me to my next level? I said, if it's not, then your life is questionable.
Yes. I like what you've just, that is so,
Honestly,
online, I have noticed that the number one thing that makes people buy from you is trust.
that's
And
it.
it's seen in the point, it is seen in reviews, whether you've got somebody to endorse you, whether you've got somebody to people are buying, there is some sort of, all of it is always coming around trust.
That's it. That's it. If Empower just said something, he said, yeah. Chinwe Glow said, trust is very important in business relations.
Very.
If Empower said, being trustworthy is the key to lasting, fruitful relationships. That's it.
That's it.
That's it. Because you see, you work in the industry where we work. Everybody wants to sign contracts. And those contracts are very important because they know that if you break your contract, your money goes. I'm telling you.
The LED courses now. The LED courses. They have asked you to put on a 2%.
You have to put everything there.
Yes.
We need to begin to trust ourselves as Africans in diaspora. We need to begin to trust ourselves. If we don't trust ourselves, the problem. Empower brought me to her channel last week on her Instagram handle, and she asked me a question about personal development. And I told her something. I said, when students comes to me, I ask them one question. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Yeah. I said, if you are the CEO of a company, can you employ you with the knowledge that you have now? Can you employ you? In other words, can you employ somebody like you? If the knowledge they have is not good enough, can I spend money to employ you? Because for every consultant that come to work for you is a 10 million pounds insurance that you are playing with.
You are playing with.
Yeah. So if you don't have the knowledge, skill, and experience, how are you going to manage?
That is
we need
so
to
important.
begin. Very important. We need to begin to trust ourselves. We need to begin to trust ourselves. CK Media said, greed destroys trust.
Yes.
We know.
I think it's also, and what you just said is very, very important, because looking at relationships from a long-term perspective is one of the things that when you are always thinking about survival, it doesn't allow you to sort of look at. So it's almost like get everything now. And then in your attempt to get everything now, you destroy that. I read recently one celebrity posted something. A young man had not been in employment for like over 6 years, had been a graduate. met the celebrity. The celebrity now connected the person to someone that could help them to get a job. Gave them a job, was paying them 4,500. The gentleman came together with other people and then stole over 100,000. This is in Ghana, 100,000 CDs
It is.
from the employee. So the celebrity came online and was literally saying, "I'm not going to help anybody any longer." And I
You
thought,
see?
you've not just destroyed the opportunity for yourself, because they've now been put in prison, but you've now stopped the flow of favor for so many other people just because
That's it.
of greed. And you just destroyed that trust that the person
That's
gave to
it.
you, and they were paying you good money.
Ah,
Good money.
my goodness.
Good money.
Very bad.
So trust
Trust
is important.
and
Very,
greed.
very important. Yes, yes, yes.
A student of mine came to me this week. He's been looking for a job for the past 3 years, and he now got the job. He said, "What can I buy for you?" I said, "Nothing." I said, "I'm happy that you got the job. You don't need to buy me anything. What you need to do is take that blessing that of what you have received and give it to somebody else so that we can all spread.
Yes.
The more people we have in the industry, the better.
Mhm,
You know,
mhm.
I was hoping that yeah, I was hoping that this live stream is just going to be 30 minutes, but it's almost like it's almost
Yeah,
1 hour.
51
Because
minutes.
oh my God. I'm so happy with everyone here. CK Media, Chinwe Glory, FAM Power, from Pastor Nelson Ngomka. Thank you so much for coming in, Pastor Nelson. Beliza Chubi, then we'll have Pa Obi. Thank you so much, guys, for being here. Before I'll let Mr. Anthony go, please don't forget, if you're not following him on Instagram, please, this is his Instagram handle at tonybuffy.com. And then, sorry, at Tony Buffy. Then remember what I said. If you can connect him now, between now and the 15th of October, you're in. So he can bring you into the 12 weeks course and also bring you into the mentorship. And he will be able to help you start off an online business, a thriving online business. Now, you might be thinking, oh, this is another sales. No, it's different, because Mr. Anthony mentored me to where I am. The last time I was traveling to Africa, I remember all the things I took that was personally made by me. I didn't have to go to Asda, Tesco, Marks and Spencer, or anywhere to buy clothes. No, through religion here and there. No, everything I made, everything I took and I wore was
Yeah,
made by me. I was
by
surprised
yourself.
by myself. So it's like
That's it.
I'm producing my own clothes and also making money from it. And
Funny
I'm
how,
really
yeah.
I'm really happy with that. Yeah, Chinwe Glory just said, just followed him now. That's good. Instead of a lot of people are impatient, I want to make it overnight. Yeah, that's where the problem is. Overnight success does not go too far, because overnight success ends up before the money.
It's
before before it's money, it ends up. you know, Mr. Anthony. One last word before Mr. Anthony go.
yeah. Okay,
One
thank
last
you. I
word,
think
Mr.
the
Anthony.
first thing
Yeah.
is thank you for having me.
Thank you so
Thank you for
much.
having me. It's a great honor and pleasure to be here. My advice to a lot of the young and also budding entrepreneurs out there is, again, you've got to understand that this thing is a journey, but you are seeing people around you that do it, that have done it. It is doable, but you need the patience, and also you need the investment to actually get there. The investment is the knowledge. The investment is the right acquaintances. The investment is the coaching sessions, the training, all that stuff. Get the right information so you will make the right decisions, and then you
That's
can
it.
be able to get to the right places in business. But are the rewards there and available for everyone? Absolutely. We keep on helping as many people as possible because the rewards are for everyone. But you
That's
need
it.
the right information so that you can't you avoid certain challenges. And also, one final thing is, you've got to realize this, is that there is nothing like failure, only a learning curve. I think
That's it.
the best place where I've learned a lot is when I made mistakes. So,
Mm.
free yourself from the idea that you're too important to make mistakes. Just get on it and learn as much as you should, because it's not even that you eventually succeed, because you are going to. Anything that you stay on it for a long time, you something will pop up. But it's just that the internal character and fortitude and the person you become in the process of actually going after these things, you'll be impressed with it, and eventually you find a life and business in general becomes very easy for you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Anthony. I've got some here. Empire said, thank you so much. Very informative. Anthony will DM you soon. Then Mr. He said, you don't take study from your student. That's great. Thank you so much. He said, this class is for those in UK alone. No, Mr. CK Media is in Spain. It's for anyone, anywhere in the world. Mr. Anthony just came back from Ghana now. And he was just talking about what he has gone to do there. It's for anyone, anywhere who wants to come in. Now, I'm going to be bringing Mr. Anthony back again to this channel and to my IG, to my Instagram, where we're going to be discussing particular ways that you can connect with him in like a week or 2 weeks and have your vision started. Because one thing is this, now, if you're afraid of starting off with broken down, there's no need to be afraid. It's just a learning curve, just like Mr. Anthony said. Begin to think of what you can do from now. You see, amazingly, the theme for myself and for my members in church this week is our month of prayers and setting goals for the year 2022. So I said, in 2019, God already gave me my target for 2022, what I need to do. So I told the member, I said, from now, this is October. By the time you set your goals for October, by November, you've worked on your goals. By December, you are ready to actualize it. January, you are in. There's no need for waiting for December to not make up your mind for January. It's too close. All the books, all the information, all the research you need to do. If you start this month, by January, you're ready to start off. Your money, your savings. It's 3 months. You've got 3 months from now to December. That's why I'm bringing people like Mr. Anthony in, so that you can begin to set yourself and get yourself ready. Mr. Anthony, I want to say thank you so much for being here. Not only have I gained, I have learned so much, and I'm really blessed to have you as a friend. You are more than a friend to me. You're like a brother, honestly speaking, because sometimes I call you late in the night. We'll meet in different places to discuss business. It's just on. Honestly speaking, it's just on. Anytime we talk, is money, is business, is progress, is moving forward. I want to say thank you so much. And I really appreciate your presence here. Now, if you're not following Mr. Anthony on his IG, I've already put his IG there. And I said, please make sure you follow him. And if you want to get in contact with him, remember what I told you, between now and the 15th of October is a big opportunity for you. Now, if you miss the 15th, get in contact with me and I'll see how I can link you up and also see if you can still get a part. I'm not saying you can get it, a part of it, because the ones who comes first will always get it. So, Mr. Anthony, I want to say thank you so much and God bless you. Now, if you've not subscribed to my YouTube channel, like I said, please hit the subscribe. Oh, and I'll be seeing you again very soon. Empire says she has already DM. You said DM sent. CK Media said, thank you, Mr. Anthony. Thank you so much. And I'll be seeing you again next week. Now, don't forget, I'm bringing in somebody who started his own cryptocurrency and the whole world is already buying. I'm into it. You're into it. It will be good for us to patronize each other. Go into Mr. Anthony's shop, get to know him, buy from him. Let's buy from our businesses and make us prosper. I'll be seeing you again next week. Thanks so much, guys.
Thank you.
God bless you. Take care. Bye. Thank you, everyone, for coming. God bless you, Mr. CK Media. Thank you very much. God bless you. Empower, thank you so much. Chinwe Glory, thank you very much. Please, if you're not on my YouTube channel, let's connect. Leave your comment, and I will get back to you. Make sure that I'll follow each other. I'll be seeing you again next week. God bless you. Bye for now.